Hey guys, SuperHorrorBro Mike here, and in today's video we take a look at the latest trailer for Little Nightmares 2 and analyse it thoroughly to see what we can discover. This new trailer, titled Lost in Transmission, reveals new locations and a host of new dangers for Mono and Six to overcome as they journey through the Pale City on their way to stop the nefarious signal tower, which seems to control almost every facet of this nightmarish world. So sit back, relax, and let's get started with some things you may have missed in this new look at Little Nightmares 2. The trailer begins as Mono emerges from a television set which breaks behind him, after which he falls several stories through a dilapidated building, a mattress luckily breaking his fall when he reaches the ground. Although we must ask, who does this mattress belong to? The room does give us some clues. Notice how high up the chair is. It sits atop a bookcase. Now, who might need a chair that tall? Perhaps the Thin Man, although isn't he now a ghost of a transmission? So perhaps this was his home in life before his sticky end aboard the moor, if he is indeed the Hanging Man as we had previously theorised. To add further evidence to this claim, we can see both the Hanging Man and the teacher in the portraits to the left and right of this throne-like chair. This is interesting as we have seen these two in the same portrait during mobile game Very Little Nightmares. I have made several theories on their connection, so I'll do my best to link them at the end of this video. One final piece of evidence to suggest these were the living quarters of the Thin Man can be seen when pausing here. Notice how we catch a glimpse of this creepy character's top hat. Not only that, later on in the video, the Thin Man shows up during an extended sequence inside what appears to be the same building. We see Mono desperately trying to smash through a locked door as the ghoulish apparition begins to materialise in the centre of the room behind him. Going back to that television, the fact it breaks suggests that once we have travelled through a screen, we are then unable to return through it. However, we should notice a second screen on one of the upper floors as Mono plummets downward. This suggests Mono will need to find his way back to the top of this building, dodging the Thin Man every step of the way. It should also be noted that, due to the great height of this interior, it is almost certainly a building found within the walls of the Pale City, the destination Mono and Six journey toward at the beginning of the game. Now let's take a look at the new footage we see from the Pale City itself. These shots don't really give us too much in the way of new information, but they do give us an idea of a variety of locations we will visit in between main areas such as the hospital and schoolhouse. We see Six and Mono will explore both the rainy streets and sky-high rooftops, as well as buildings in between, and even shops such as this supermarket. Probably the most exciting piece of footage is found with this shot, where Mono and Six seem to have ridden a doorframe across a large body of water, eventually finding themselves ashore on this beach. A beach just outside the walls of the Pale City. This suggests that this event occurs directly after escaping the clutches of the insane hunter living out in the wilderness. The broadcast emanating from the signal tower within this city warps and distorts the buildings and bodies of those living there. On the topic of the signal tower, we should also note in the final shot of this trailer, Mono stands before what seems to be the tower itself. The doors open wide and blinding light floods out from within. It must be pretty bright in there, but why? Some kind of supernatural power source is my best guess. The signal tower has hypnotised the townsfolk and seems to be draining them of their life force, causing their very bodies to erode and disfigure. It seems the room beyond this door is where the spirit energy is now held, powering this torturous device and continuing its heinous rule. Either way, there's not long until we find out for sure. We should also note that Mono is alone at this point in the game, which suggests that Six has been stolen away from him. We do see this happen in a previous trailer, where the Thin Man grabs Six and drags her into the television. Perhaps the TV Mono falls through at the start of this new trailer, finding himself in Thin Man's house. Oh, and one final point. Mono's paper bag is now nowhere to be seen. This suggests he has lost it during a close encounter where it was perhaps snatched from his head. The next point is a really quick one. There is a short sequence in this trailer where we see some shots within the hospital stage. Most of these are pretty standard gameplay moments, Six and Mono sneaking through hallways and helping one another traverse elevator shafts, and, morbidly, the morgue found in the hospital basement. However, one shot in particular is noteworthy. We see Mono holding up a teddy bear, which does seem a little odd for such a nightmarish game. However, cast your minds back to a previous trailer and you will remember we saw this shot of Mono and Six in an X-ray room. One of the X-rays shows a teddy bear with a hidden key in its belly. So it seems, as we predicted, the area in this new trailer is a children's ward, one with a teddy bear holding a key. No doubt we'll have to destroy it in some fashion in order to retrieve said key, because we can't have nice things in Little Nightmares now, can we? By the time you watch this video, it's likely you will have seen the Schoolhouse demo footage released by Bandai Namco after this trailer debuted, but before this video was completed. I'll link my reaction to that demo at the end of this one. Either way, this trailer does show off an area not covered in that demo, the canteen. Here we see just how naughty these pupils really are. Bullying one another and throwing food about, the teacher certainly won't be happy when she sees this mess. The most anxiety-inducing prospect of this area, however, dawns on us when we take a close look at this shot. Here we see Mono wearing the broken head of one of these doll-like children as a mask in order to stealthily evade detection. It would only take one stray apple thrown to knock his disguise clean off and leave him at the mercy of these bullies. Let's hope that doesn't happen. In this sequence, we see just how many of these children can chase Mono at any one time, while here in this shot, a student seems to be wearing a gnome hat as a dunce cap. Obviously he has been very badly behaved and is now tethered to a post and tasked with drawing the all-seeing eye over and over. More evidence that this world and its denizens truly are under control of the broadcaster. Let's wrap up this video with a quick look at what I believe is one of the most exciting and grotesque moments from this new trailer by far. We've theorised as to what it may look like once Mono pushes his way through a television screen and enters the dimension in between. This blue, bendy, warping corridor seems to be the usual form of travel through the dimension in between. However, in this latest trailer, it seems Mono accidentally stumbles out of bounds, so to speak, emerging outside the safety of the usual corridor and into the bowels of a gruesome entity. As you can see, the tunnels connecting these screens are made from flesh and innards, almost as if this is an intestinal tract or something similar. We can see giant human eyeballs growing from the rancid meat of the walls all around us. They fixate on Mono angrily as he is sucked past at high speed. So, what is this horrifying environment? My thoughts on the subject are to link these eyes and the in-between dimension to the signal tower at the centre of the Pale City. As stated earlier in the video, it seems the signal tower's transmissions are confined to the city walls. However, its reach and gaze go far beyond this barrier. It does this by using its broadcast to feed into any electronic device found throughout the world, and it seems everyone bows down to its immense power. From the all-seeing eyes aboard for more, which include both trap eyes and security devices, to the static of the television screens which hypnotise the strange inhabitants of Little Nightmares, keeping their minds subservient and in check. The signal tower manages terrifying reach and complete control over almost everything. I say almost, as there are those lucky enough to escape slavery and avoid the brainwashing this tower inflicts upon most others. Our heroes Six and Mono for starters. However, the signal tower isn't just a piece of machinery, it seems to exist as a living creature. an omnipotent being taking on a fleshy form and existing within the broadcast itself. It seems to manifest as a massive energy on another plane of existence, one that Mono can somehow travel to when moving through these television screens at certain times. Perhaps the signal tower will allow for a way to permanently enter this flesh creature's lair and kill it from within. We'll just have to wait and see, and the wait isn't long as Little Nightmares 2 launches in just a few short weeks. With that said, we have reached the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed this analysis of the Lost in Transmission trailer for Little Nightmares 2, and if you did, remember to leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more horror related content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.